Okay, everybody, I am back. Sorry about that. I know you probably saw some weird little graphical things on screen from time to time. I don't know what it is. For some reason, I might have to rework some of my OBS scene here because there were a couple of things that just weren't working the way they were intended to, or I don't know, something got out of order. It's really confusing, but I'll figure it out on my own time. But yeah, welcome to what is going to be the fourth game draw for the GBA series. We've made it through another 10 games. We are getting ready to draw a couple of more. Before we do that, though, as usual, I do want to give kind of a brief rundown of all the stuff that we have done in this series so far, or at least for this stretch of the series. I'm not going to recap everything. You can watch the other status reports for that. But yeah, we've made it through another 10 games. We are now 30 games through this series. We are at a total of 272 hours, 38 minutes, and 55 seconds, which, for those who didn't catch too much of this particular batch of the series, yes, this batch actually was a lot shorter than the first two. Number of very quick games. The longest game was only 17 hours. So yeah, this set went by very, very quickly. So it was nice. It was nice actually making some progress. Half of the games from this stretch were completed within the last week, actually. Yeah, because I think it was Friday was when we played Berenstain Bears. So yeah, again, just really, really, really cool that we've been able to make some very quick progress on this. So for those who weren't around, these were the games that we. Oh shoot! I just realized we can't see that now because again my thing was screwing up. Okay, hold on. I'll get it in just a second. I'll just do this again. I'll name this GBA Recap. There we go. These were the games that we actually played for the third game draw. So we started with Need for Speed Underground. This was a game I was really, really looking forward to, but unfortunately it did disappoint in a major way. Yeah, while this game I think is a pretty cool simulated racing game, street racing game, it just didn't really translate very well to the GBA. Very bad graphics, very inconsistent AI. It had an interesting gimmick that was, different from the console games, but no, Silver, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Just let me get through this. I don't need to react too much. Okay, so had a really cool system in play where again a really cool ranking system which made it very unique to rank up for each of the different racing circuits and everything, but because it had a ranking down circuit as well, or a ranking down system where you could rank down, it just kind of made it take a lot longer more than anything. And some of the classes, pretty much all the classes, had some kind of problems with it, so it just made for a very just not super great experience. And it basically showed me that whenever I play a Need for Speed game, I'm gonna have to mute the music because YouTube's gonna eat those VODs alive for sure. So yeah, not a great experience. I wouldn't say it was the worst game of this batch though, so I will give it that credit. Uh, Game 22 was Chicken Little. It was Chicken Middle because it was a very, very average game. Not bad. Not bad whatsoever. I feel like it was probably better than what the movie reception was. But I wouldn't say it did really anything that interesting either. Pretty standard platformer. There's some action gameplay scenes. There's also some racing segments as well. A dodgeball minigame, which were interesting additions, but they didn't really add much to it. Again, it was a game that had good stuff going for it. It just never really achieved on anything. So it was pretty middle of the road, honestly. Then we had like a really, really good stretch of games, starting with Nickelodeon Barnyard. Did not know what to expect with Nickelodeon Barnyard. Really threw me off with what kind of game it was going to be. I didn't even know it was like a movie, like or TV show franchise whatsoever until saw this game. It was all right. Well, actually, it was more than all right. I thought it was actually pretty good. Really interesting, kind of like side quest simulator, I guess you could say, where quite literally, you did a bunch of fetch quests and stuff, but there were a lot of fun like mini games too, which were nice. So it had a lot going for it. I was really, really surprised by Nickelodeon Barnyard. Probably, yeah, like Mars said, probably the biggest surprise of this set. Don't know if I'd say it's my favorite game of this set, but it was definitely up there. I'd say probably top three, in the top three of this set, if I had to be honest with you. So yeah, Nickelodeon Barnyard was really fun. Tetris Worlds, also really fun. I mean, I love Tetris to begin with, so doing some Tetris Worlds was nice. Different variations of Tetris as well, so it's not just playing the same game over and over again. There's different variations and different styles of Tetris, which made it nice. I think it did lose a little bit of its charm from the console version though, because it's on a handheld, and I think it was also released like a year before the console version. So I think the console versions just had more time to work with to make things a little more unique, and had the capability of just being on superior hardware too. But it was still a fun time. I kind of beasted it through Tetris Worlds. I only had to redo like two of the modes once, and that was about it. I pretty much first tried everything, so it was a pretty quick clear for me. Next up was Monster Rancher Advance. This was the longest game of this set. It was a game that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. I think it was a pretty tricky game, all things considered, though. Major thank you to Kathram for being a part of the streams and helping me through it, being one of the other GBA challengers who completed the game. Was able to give me a lot of tips and a lot of strategies to get through the game a lot easier, which definitely helped. But it was pretty addictive. Once you got past like the opening stretch and once you knew what you were doing, it was a pretty fun game. So I really enjoyed Monster Rancher, and I look forward to playing the sequel at a future point in time. Another big surprise of this batch was the next game, Berenstein Bears and the Spooky Old Tree. It was a really scary game, scariest game we'll probably play on this system, but it was fun. It was passable. I'd play it again. Kind of slow in some parts, switching between characters, but kind of a nice Lost Vikings sort of game. So it was really, really neat. Really, really surprised with how that one went. So yeah, that was kind of slightly above middle of the road. But yeah, it's so damn scary. Like, seriously, scariest game ever. Game 27 was King of Fighters EX Neo Blood. It was alright. It was pretty middle of the road. Like, I'm not big on fighting games, especially 2D fighting games, but it worked. It played fine, and I got through it without too much trouble. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about it. I don't have much to say about the fighting games, but it's passable. It's better than Mortal Kombat Advance easily. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun game. Next up, we got Scooby-Doo in the Cyber Chase. This game was honestly, I think this was the worst game I think of the batch. If I'm being honest, like. Need for Speed was bad, and I'll talk about Top Gear in a little bit, but Scooby Doo was not good. Really, really just did not play well. Mini games were not good. It had a really pointless like mystery solving element that you couldn't really even make use of, I don't think, and it just hot take the actual movie isn't good either, you know. uh yeah, I don't know anything about that, but I can only take your word for that. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the game. I don't know if like there were console versions that were at least a little better, but it just did not play well at all. It just was not a good experience. I did not enjoy playing that whatsoever. Definitely, I don't know if it's the worst game of this entire series. Paws and Claws is going to have a pretty firm hold on that for a really, really long time, but Scooby Doo was pretty close to being down there too. Next up was Ultimate Muscle: The Path of the Superhero. It's another fighting game, more wrestling based, and like I said for King of Fighters, I'm not big on fighting games to begin with, so I didn't really gel with this one too much. It had some interesting mechanics though, and if you know you've watched the show and play or like you know if you watched and appreciated the show to some extent, you know you might get some value out of this. You know I think it does go through some of the arcs of the show in a decent way, according to Mega, who had actually seen it. But you know it's very repetitive, and they do a lot of the same things for every fight. But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't. It was one of those games. I think it was better than what I appreciated, but I wouldn't say like it's a must-have by any stretch. He just had the dumb theme song. Yeah, that's. I mean, I remember it just because I think it came like after Kirby or something when I watched that back in the day. That's really all I remember about it because you know Foxbox and everything. And the last game we had was Top Gear GT Championship. Um, it was eh. It was another racing game that wasn't that great. I think presentation was better than Need for Speed, but it was very, very repetitious. No music, so it was kind of boring. Just kind of lasted way too long. But, you know, it wasn't bad. The presentation was okay, I guess, but you know, nothing spectacular. I'm sure that there'll be much better racing games on this system. So yeah, that's it. Overall, like I said, worst game was easily Scooby Doo, and the Cyber Chase. Not a great game. As far as the best game would honestly, probably be Tetris Worlds. You know, I did really enjoy Monster Rancher and Barnyard, but I think Tetris Worlds, I think just overall exuded the best and most quality of the games. So yeah, I'd say Tetris Worlds was the best for me personally for this set, and then Scooby Doo obviously the worst. Okay, well, guys, I think it's time. I think it's time we start rolling some new games. So let's do it. Let me get rid of this. I might have to readjust the window a little bit. Just a little bit, though. Let me just Alt-tab this over here. Okay, so quick reminder for those who have not seen the wheel yet. Basically, all the games that we haven't played yet are on this list. Every single one of them. They are listed in a what's the word? Progressive, not trans. I was gonna say transgressive. Is like that's not the right word. They're listed in a progressive manner. So if it's a part of a series, it'll say like the next series game for this series, and I have a predetermined order for that series already. But it will have the number of games that are left for that series. So Super Mario Advance, for example, there are 3 entries in there right now because there are 4 games. We've already done one of them. So the next 3 games are in there still. It's just we'll do Super Mario Advance 2 first, no matter what. So that's how that works. The other thing of note is that there are a few games that are actually in there multiple times, a few extra times, because they were alternates for basically previous wheels. So, for example, let me look at the alternates really quick, just to... we also got, in addition to all the games, we have Next Land Before Time game, Road Rash Jailbreak, Next Top Gun game, Next Hot Wheels game, Next Magical Quest game, Next Super Robot Wars game, Next The Legend of Zelda game, Next Final Fantasy game, and Konami's Collector Series. There are basically additional entries of that because they were alternates. So once again, we're going to draw 10 games. We'll draw 3 alternates as well. So yeah, that's how this is going to work. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it looks like that is all in there. So, okay, wheels on screen. Ladies and gentlemen, let us spin that wheel. After shuffling it a few times. Okay, let's do it. Game number 31 is going to be... Well, we have one of our alternates taken care of. That was fast. Okay, well, we got an easy game coming up, guys. We got an easy game coming up because I believe, based on what I decided, trying to find it on my list here. There are 2 Zelda games for the Game Boy Advance. And the first one is The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and 4 Swords. Now, I know people are going to be asking me, what are you going to do about 4 Swords? Well, I don't really have a plan yet, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play through just the original game, and then end it there, and then we'll do a special series later on when I can gather a person or two. So we can potentially show off the 4 Swords. Do not volunteer yourself. Do not ask. I will come to the people who I'm going to ask. This is not a... Let me be part of it to help. Like, I'll figure that out on my own time. But it is going to be The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, and 4 Swords. So a game that I'll be very familiar with because it's Link to the Past. Okay, let me write this down. Can't believe that was literally the first game we got. That is so hilarious. Slim about to stream Link to the Past. Incredible. What a game changer. Yeah, I know, right? How could I do something so different and controversial? Okay. Hey, we'll be playing the vanilla game for once, so that's something. Okay, shuffle a few times. Let's roll the next game, folks. What if we get Final Fantasy right after this? Let's see. Invincible Iron Man. Oh, this should be pretty easy because he's going to be invincible the whole time, according to this. Okay. I don't know what to think about this game. It's literally not one I've heard of. I don't know what it is. So come on, Xenoblade Chronicles Advance. Yeah, Will, keep dreaming, buddy. Keep dreaming. We won't get that game till the very end, honestly. That's gonna be the finale, probably. Okay, remove. Okay, guys, let us shuffle a few more times. What do we got next? Third game of the batch is the next Peter Pan game. I didn't even know there were more than one Peter Pan game. Okay, there's... Oh, I have to actually decide this. I don't have them numbered yet. There's Peter Pan Return to Neverland and Peter Pan the Motion Picture Event. Let me see here. Let's list it by name, which I think it's already in that order. Wait. It's showing just one game here, though. Okay, this is apparently 2003. Oh, this is Disney's Peter Pan Return to Neverland. Okay, that was first, apparently. That was 2001 in North America, so that will be the release for that. That's the one we're doing first. That's the Odinspec 33 game, by the way. Return to Neverland. Okay. I'm really hoping we get Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh, I bet you do. Okay. Next one. Yeah, we get to beat up Captain Hook again for the second time in this series. No, there's another one of our alternates. See, they'll get picked before too long. Okay, so Top Gun. First of all, let's remove that alternates. Top Gun. Apparently, it's Top Gun Firestorm Advance. Okay. That sounds raw. It does sound pretty raw, honestly. You love a good firestorm. Okay, next game. Hamtaro would be good, actually. Better than this, probably. The next Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX game. I blame Dave for this. I blame Dave Mirra for this. Apparently there's only 2, and it's Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2. Like Tony Hawk, there's no 1 on this console, or system, or whatever. I think I would have enjoyed Tony Hawk if I knew what I was doing sooner, honestly. We're getting a lot of, like, series for this, too. I think Invincible Iron Man was the only one that wasn't part of a series. Yo, Big Muppets on with the show. I didn't even know there was more than one Muppets game, honestly. Oh, there are 2 Muppets games. One's a pinball game, though. So we'll just... Yeah, we won't worry about it. We'll just do this one, then. Yo, you saw it, yeah. I know that's what you're hoping for, Kingo. Okay, I think we're good. Muppets Prime Pinball, if only. Let's see. Well then. I don't think I've ever played that game before. Hey, I think this is like the second, well, I guess if you want to count frickin' Mario Advance and Link to the Past. I mean, this is the second technical game I've Let's Played before for this series. I don't even know what to do to make that playthrough interesting, though, because I've already played through it twice for thank God it's Mario Party Friday. So it's like, what am I gonna do? Just do it again, I guess? I mean, that's really about all I can do, I think. Advance Wars is the only game that I've Let's Played that I've done for this series. If you want to get technical, there's Mario Bros 2 and then also Link to the Past coming up because of, you know, their actual original games, but technically it wasn't those games that I played. Okay. Oh boy, more wrestling. I can't wait to play that. Fire. It's just Fire Pro Wrestling. I only have 2 more to draw. Okay. Yeah, two name. Oh, 2 games with fire in the name. Oh, that could only mean one thing. We're in game number 3, and it's going to be Fire Emblem. Close enough. Ah, damn, I have to look up because I don't have these listed yet. Okay, looks like Summertime Adventure is the first one. Strawberry Shortcake, practically a Fire Emblem game. Okay, last game of the initial 10, and then we get the 3 alternates. It's funny, we'll only have like 1 new game added to the alternate list because we took 2 of them off today. Yeah, there is another one. There's 2 games. There's technically 3, but 1 isn't North America, so don't have to worry about that one. We took 2. We took 2 of them. Yeah. Okay. Well, 2 of the I games. There's not very many I games that start with I. And this, just the fact that we got 2 of them in this batch is interesting. Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna take the wheel off for just a second. Bring this back on. So we can see what exactly we got here. Come on. There we go. Okay, there we go, guys. Here is batch number 4. It's not great when there's 2 games you're excited about, and they're both games that you've played before. I will say this one looks better than the... Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Because I mean, there were at least some games I was interested in the last one. And there were some surprise... I guess there could always be more surprises, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, some will be funny, I think. That's for sure. So yeah, Friday, I'm playing Link to the Past apparently. All right, BizHawk Shuffle, ALTTP, and Mario Party. I could do that honestly. I won't do that though. God, I could be like finished with Link to the Past in one stream. Like unless I figure out what to do about the other thing. I might have to. I might be contacting some people. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Link to the Past is easily top, and I mean, I know a lot of people don't really care for Mario Party Advance, but I like Mario Party Advance, so I'll have fun with this. So that's something. Okay, well there we go. That's the next batch. Before we stop this, though, I am going to bring the wheel back one more time because we have 3 alternates to draw before we finish this up. You know what? Wolf Kaminari, give me a number 1 through 10. That's going to be the number I shuffle it. And I'm not going to shuffle it any more than that. I'm just going to shuffle it once and then draw 3. 4. Okay. You have to go into Mario Party Advance not thinking it's going to be like the board game, and I think you'll be fine. Like, I really don't think it's that bad. I think that's the problem a lot of people make with that game. Okay, so Wolf said 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are all alternates. We're not playing these unless there's something that comes up. Teen Titans, okay. Next Teen Titans game, which is just Teen Titans. I'm not going to shuffle again. Backyard Basketball. Which is just Backyard Basketball, I guess. And then one more. But Pixel, we're probably not playing that. The last one is High Heat Major League Baseball. Which apparently there's 2 of those, and it's just 2002. Okay, so again, those 3 games are alternates. They will not necessarily be played in this batch. They will come up if like I have to replace one of the other games. But for the most part, they're just there as alternates. And they will get additional adds into the pool moving forward. So... Okay, well, guys, that is going to do it for this draw. Let's pull the list up one more time. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Please do not post this in my server. Let me do it. It's my post, my announcement. So please do not do that. And I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and actually get some dinner because I am hungry. So I'll see you guys on Friday for some Link to the Past. I know it's very different from what I normally play on here, for sure. So, yeah, Peter Cracked. Peter Cracked is here for sure. take it easy in the time being. I'll also be live on YouTube on Thursday for more Dynasty Warriors 3. So if you want to stop on by to check that out, should be some good fun. So let's see. Who is streaming right now? Is there anyone streaming we want to raid? I'm actually not seeing anybody, unfortunately. So I think we're going to actually just leave it at that and just head on out. So you guys have a good rest of the evening, and I'll talk to you guys later. Also, it's Tuesday, so watch Sis tonight. Later, folks.